Before we continue, I want to just let you know that here at Off the Deep End Podcast, we do talk about some things that can be extremely triggering for some of the listeners, whether it's domestic violence, suicide prevention, mental health resources, vet resources, veteran stories, active shooters, fitness, and even recovering from addictive substances. There's only one place I go to spread my message of positivity about not just going through things, but growing through them as well. For this, I use Anchor.fm. It allows my listeners to listen on over 7 platforms with a click of a button. Make sure you download Anchor app or go to Anchor.fm to get started sharing your story. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Off the Deep End Podcast. I'm your host, Eddie, and as always, I hope you're having a lovely, blessed, fulfilling day. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're wearing. I really don't need to know what you look like to tell you that your life has value and you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. So now that we got the positive high note set, I'm super excited about this podcast. This is someone who is a dominant competitor, an athlete, a father, a brother, a son, and my favorite, a professor in Jiu-Jitsu. So this series is all about my personal self-defense journey, and I'm gathering information that I can use as I get out of this injury span and work towards self-betterment again through fitness. And I love fitness because it's such an all-encompassing thing. But martial arts is a special type of fitness, and I'm just branching off into it and revisiting it after my childhood. So the next conversation you're going to hear is Rodrigo Lopes. This is a man from Texas. He has a special announcement towards the end of this, but I am going to save that for him to tell. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. He had to take time out of his day with his family all the way from Texas. My brother, Rodrigo Lopes, thank you for joining me today. All right, all the way from Texas, the absolute savage on the mats. He loves to fold clothes with people inside him. Surprise, surprise. Thank you so much for joining me, Mr. Rodrigo. I appreciate your time.
My pleasure, brother.
Absolutely. So why don't you start with just telling me a little bit about your childhood? Were you into martial arts as a child? What was it for you?
So my childhood was pretty normal. My brother, I had 3 brothers, and then my brother, I lost 2 brothers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then no, that's fine. And my brother, who is still alive, it's my master, my professor. And everything starts when I lost one of my brothers. And my master, Leandro, my brother, he started with Jiu-Jitsu because his head was a mess, right? And he started really like focus 100% on Jiu-Jitsu. And he stopped like studying. He stopped doing everything he was doing at the time because he was going nuts. So Jiu-Jitsu was the only thing that really keep him alive, keep him good, keep him sane, right? He found a way to really like canalize his anger, right, on something good. And then he really starts focus on that, and he becomes a professor black belt. And he brought me to Jiu-Jitsu when he was blue or purple belt. I was 9, 10 years old at the time, but I was just coming to have fun, you know. And then things changed when I was a purple belt. I was with my wife. I met my wife, and at that time, I was teaching kids class. My brother opened his gym. He was a black belt, and then I was just teaching for fun. I always loved jiu-jitsu. And then my wife got pregnant. And then I need to make that decision. I was coursing law, high school. I was like I was about to finish. And I was at that time that I need to really pick, like I need to do this or that, you know, because I need money. How I will have a son with no money. So I really like, okay, cool. I did the same thing my brother did. I quit the high school and I started really focusing on jiu-jitsu. And then when it starts like things start to really change in my life. I became a professional. I started competing a lot. I started, like, my brother gave me more time to teach, and when I saw I was 100% professor, full time, and an athlete. I was lifting, training every day, uh, competing every month. So, and my wife started to really doing jiu-jitsu after that. Now my wife
What?
is a black belt. Yeah, my wife is a black belt, world champion. My wife is a beast, and my son now is doing jiu-jitsu as well. So it's from family.
That is
Yeah,
amazing. Wow.
it's crazy.
What is it like to see your little version that you and your wife have created, this piece of you and piece of her, take to something that you and her both have a serious passion for?
One thing that I try not make that mistake. When I was younger, my brother used to kind of. I lost my daddy super early,
Mhm.
and my brother, it was just me and him. We lost a lot. We lost two brothers. We lost my daddy. He lost his daddy as well. We are from different fathers,
Mhm.
just same mother. So we always were super, super together, like super, super close. And my brother was my daddy, from 9 years old. When I was starting, like, doing jiu-jitsu, my father was passed away already. So my brother took that space. But my brother, I think he wants for me something that he really wants for himself. And he
Mm.
was pushing me too hard to train.
Mm.
And for many times I quit, I stopped training, so I try not make that mistakes. I really leave Bruno really comfortable about training. For example, today he's with me here at home. He didn't train. My wife is teaching now. So we're super cool with that. If you want to train, you go train. If you doesn't want to train, you don't want to train, that's fine. You don't want to train, that's cool. So I try to respect that, because in my opinion, that was a mistake my brother did to me. But I
Mm.
understand that it was a really hard phase, but I see I try to be a best version of what I had as a father, because it was complicated. My brother took that space without being ready. Nobody
Mhm.
told him, "Hey, bro, you're gonna be a father, right?" So he did amazing. He did what he could. So I try to be the best version and not make the same mistakes.
I love that. I love that. I absolutely love it. It's something that I watched on YouTube, and I saw you in the background of the video, and I freaked out, right? Because when Jocko gave his daughter that belt
Oh
upgrade was
yeah,
super.
yeah,
He said something very similar, and
yeah,
I looked forward to my children doing martial arts and learning new aspects and stuff. But I want to make sure that they are also comfortable with it. They're not getting turned off of it. They're not losing their passion for it, and it's something they
yeah,
want to do on their terms. And that's something
yes,
that I think it comes with maturity, right? We experience these things in life, and nobody knows all the answers. Your brother did the best he could, but he didn't have all the answers, and
yeah.
yeah,
Was
absolutely.
was hard. He didn't
Hmm.
have a father as well. His father was bad for him. So he didn't have the best of a father to give him the examples. So he need to figure it out by himself.
Hmm.
And he did amazing. I have nothing to complain. I love my brother. My brother is like, it's everything for me. My mom, my brother, just us three now. My brother is my father, my brother, my master. It's my example. I try to really uh, follow, his directions. He's much older. I'm 27 and he's 41.
Hmm.
So he was really like a father figure for me, all my life.
I love how you speak about him with respect, with
Yeah,
appreciation, with understanding, and it understanding takes maturity. It takes a long time. We don't always have all the answers as students
we
in
learn.
life, but we do learn. But we do
Yeah,
learn. Me as a student in my life, I've always had people step up to be father figures for me in times where I didn't have one. I'm thankful for my stepdad, but I'm really thankful for my first ever martial arts instructor was Master Pierce up here in Linwood. There's a couple people up here that are going to be teaching me jujitsu, and as I learn, I'm super excited. I just healed from a shoulder injury, so I cannot wait. I cannot even think or sleep. All I want to do is get choked out,
I know.
and learn how not to get choked out.
But that's part of the process. You're gonna
Hmm.
get choked out like
Yeah.
forever.
Hmm.
So don't try to
Absolutely.
fight against that.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm just gonna be a little green white belt. Just have no idea about anything. Just
Just
deer in the
fight hard.
headlights. Deer in the headlight. And I look forward to the journey. So speaking of journeys, I know that right now you're a top tier competitor. What was it like first starting out for you? Do you have any advice you'd give to somebody like me who is just has been waiting forever to start, but is so
Uh-huh.
excited? And what should I not do, and what should I do?
Okay. I think the mistakes are, first of all, the mistakes are part of the journey. I cannot tell you to not go this way, don't make the mistakes, because you're gonna make other mistakes, and that's very important. I think it's all the mistakes I made. For example, my brother tried to guide me to not make his mistakes, but I made other mistakes, that he didn't make it at the time. So I cannot tell you to not make some mistakes because it's impossible. But that mistake is gonna make you so stronger and stronger. The advice I give it to you, it looks like cliche, but never give up. It's the best one I can give it to you. Until my brown belt, I was a very regular competitor, And then when I got my black belt, people was like, "Dude, now you're in trouble because if you was sucking at brown belt, now you're done." I was like, "Yeah, okay." But what I did, I trained harder and harder and harder. I moved to SA. As soon as I got my black belt, I moved to SA, and I really lived the life. I live jiu-jitsu 24/7. I train Saturday, I train Sunday. I have my lifting program. I have my diet. Me and my wife would train every single day. Sometimes I go earlier to the gym with my wife and my son. We drill. We work some techniques to help my son, to help my wife. So the device I do is like, bro, go ahead. Get after, and don't give up. If you really want something, bro, it, nobody can tell you can't. After I got my black belt, I, things changed, and then as a black belt, I become one of the top fighters in the world. I become a world medalist. I become a national medalist. So things that I never been as a color belt. So it's harder, right, as a black belt.
Mm-hmm.
So as a black belt was where I got all my very good results. So just because I really want it, I want it so much that I will make it happen.
100%. And I know that this is true for other sports. For bodybuilding, as soon as you get to a new peak, you have to up your game. There's always somebody looking for that spot or that belt or that skill. And as you change your game, as you change your development, you find a new approach, you try different angles, you set traps and watch people fall into them, or escape traps that you didn't want to be in. There's always somebody coming for your top spot. I know as a dominant athlete, it takes a lot of things. What are some of the key components to self-betterment throughout your jiu-jitsu journey, other than not giving up? Because I know that perseverance is very, very important. So what are other aspects that are important as far as competing and getting better?
I think people don't usually talk much about that. Of course, self-confidence, right? Most of the people will not believe in you. Like they will always tell you, "Hey, that's too much for you. That fight's too hard, bro. I don't think you're ready." So you gotta believe in yourself. That's Nobody will believe in yourself as you. Like nobody will believe in you as you. So not even my wife, not even my brother. It's they think I can. They know I can, but you gotta believe in yourself 100%. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
doubt it. You cannot have questions about how long you can go. I think that's very important. You know where you can go, and you really believe in the process. You gotta believe it and trust in yourself, trust in your hard work. You know, uh, what else? I think also, like I said, there are some mistakes that are really important in the journey that it's impossible to not make it. They're gonna make you improve and get better. But I really think self-confidence and believe in yourself, believe in the process, and honestly, patience. Patience is I only became a really high level competitor as a black belt. So I train jiu-jitsu for 17 years already. So in the last 3 years, I became a great competitor. So I sucked for 14 years, and the last 3 years, I'm like getting there where I want it. So it's patience, It's just patience.
I know that well, thank you for sharing that with me. But I know that it's very, very important to have something first start off. And I know for our mutual friend Mike, I served with him in the military, and how he talks about you is his main inspiration. I know that for his journey, starting in, there were some times where he lost that fire, that passion, but it revisited him, and now it's stronger than ever. I know that we do always fall on hard times, but just as you did growing up and as your brother did, channeling those dark things, those boxes you don't want to deal with and open up, and putting them into something positive like self-betterment through martial art, through jiu-jitsu, through dieting, through fitness. All of them have a similar effect on your soul. What do you think about the importance of weightlifting or training in any regiment? What do you think is better? Calisthenics, so body weight exercises and stuff like that. I know yoga is important, but what about just standard weight training? How do you feel about
So
that?
that's a very good question. People used to kind of mix things up a little bit. I have some examples close to me that people want to just. I did the mistake. Like I told you, like those mistakes are. I cannot blame someone who is making that mistakes because I did. I did many of them. So what I did, and I think now with all my maturity, all my experience, is lifting every day, like bodybuilding style. We're not bodybuilders. We're not weightlifters. So our training, our how do I say, like the stress we have in our body during our training, it's unbelievable. We work the whole body during like a sparring, right? We work the whole body. So I think the lifting, it has to be just something to complement, something to just make you better. I know some guys, some people that really lift more than train, so I think something it's going to get aside, because if you lift as much as you train, your body gonna be so stressed, so overtrained, that something gonna be bad. So you gotta choose. You are a fighter, so you need to fight. You are weightlifter, so you need to weight lift. Or if you're a bodybuilder, you gotta just lift hard. So I think, like I used to say that, not me, my trainer, I was sprinting, to cut weight, and he got mad at me. He's like, Rodrigo, why are you running, like to cut weight? And he was like, you're gonna run during your fight? I was like, no, the idea is not running, right? He was like, so why are you training to run if you're not a runner? I was like, I didn't know how to answer. I was like, but I'm just trying to cut weight. So go train. You're a fighter, so you train. If you gotta cut weight, you train more. And I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Like if you're a swimmer, you go swim. Oh, but I need to cut weight, so swim more. And I think that's how it goes. You need to have your focus, your priority. So I think the lifting has to be. It's important, very important, but people wanna overlift, and end up like injured because it will stress so much your body, your joints, So I think you get injured, you get overtrained, you end up getting cramps because your muscles are so tired, But I think what I do for myself, I lift 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Saturday and Sunday is off. And like sometimes I just drill, not even rolling, not even like lifting. It's family time. I have my fun, and during the week I go hard.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I know that a healthy balance is super important. the body needs rest. One of my favorite quotes from Avatar: The Last Airbender, the TV show, they said, "A man needs his rest," and that is something I didn't understand until my body was saying, "You need rest." I was doing 7 days a week, and it's just the strain you put on your body, the muscles, your joints, everything needs to recover, and so does your mind. Your mind
Yeah.
needs that downtime as well. Well, I appreciate you breaking down that. One question about your first experience. So that gap from the white belt to I believe the blue belt next, correct? So that
Yeah.
first jump from a white belt to a blue belt, what are some of the main things to focus on in really bettering yourself, other than the perseverance?
So jiu-jitsu has changing like crazy fast.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was a white belt, people were learning totally different techniques that are learning now. When I was a white belt, jiu-jitsu was very basic. Now I see the white belts, they want to learn lapel, they want to learn birimbolo, they want to learn like fancy jiu-jitsu before they learned very basic and effective jiu-jitsu. So like I said you before, just patience, trust in process. Don't try to learn something you're not ready to learn, because you gotta get your body ready. You gotta have the right technique, the right mobility in your body, to make it happen. You cannot jump phases. You cannot jump steps. It's part of the process. You gotta go through all the steps. Maybe when you're a blue belt, you're gonna start learning those techniques, like fancy and high level techniques. But as a white belt, focus on the basics, focus on the really efficient jiu-jitsu, and there's not how to make it wrong, to go wrong. The basic jiu-jitsu is the most effective jiu-jitsu, and be patient and just work the basic.
Absolutely. So you are competing at a very high level. You're not just going and going against some random guy who walks into your training facility. Yeah. So how do you prepare mentally if I was going into competing in jiu-jitsu, what is some things I would do to prepare that I wouldn't normally do as just a normal practitioner of, or a student of jiu-jitsu?
Okay, so other thing that I try to do every single time when I go to compete, I try to really follow my daily routine, because I train hard as a competition every single day of my life. So why, when I'm going to compete, I need to change something? Know what I mean? So I try not cutting weight. I try not drink something I'm not used to drink. I try not lifting something I'm not used to lift. I try to eat, to drink, to train as always. What I do before the competition, I try to stop 1, maybe 2 days before, to get my body full rest, to really feel strong, have my power reloaded, because our train is hard. So it gets us out, it gets our body out. So what I try to do is break 1 or 2 days before competition. I used to fight as 171 lightweight. No, 167 lightweight. Now I waiting around 185. So I used to cut all the way to fight. Was brutal, I never fought 100%, never. So when I realized, okay, bro, what I'm cutting weight, if I train every single day of my life with this way, I do all my diet about on this way, why am I gonna cut 15 pounds to fight on some division I'm not used to train? It's other speed, it's other strength, it's other pace. I'm not used to train on that pace, on that speed. Why am I gonna cut weight and do this in a real time? So I try to do 100% everything what I do on my routine, on my weeks, training, lifting. I try not change much. I think that's really important. And mentally, what I try always to do, like I told you, I always believe myself. No matter who I'm against to compete, like who I'm going to compete against, I always believe myself, because I know what I'm capable of. I know how much I train. I know everything I passed to be here. So I really trust myself, no matter what people say.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. I know that it's so important to not just put your nose to the grindstone and do the work and have regiments as far as you're eating, you're drinking water, you're super hydrated, you're giving the muscles all the nutrients they need to perform for you. I've been doing a whole lot of different stuff that I've never done before when I was doing bodybuilding and just regular fitness stuff for the military. Now I'm practicing weird things that I only saw wrestlers doing in high school. And so it's a new experience. And I know there's a lot of stuff I need to work on and drilling and drilling and drilling and drilling. I bought mats for my downstairs.
Nice.
I have sandbags. I try everything. So all that's left is to get a doll and shove it full of sand and try to choke that doll out a bunch. But I don't know. There's something crazy. But I'm working towards my next goal, and my next goal is just being able to start drilling and start rolling with another human being. So I'm super
Yeah.
excited about it. This journey, I know that it's not one that just happens overnight. There's hours and days and weeks, and you have to show up one day after the next, no matter what, no matter how you feel. You're not always going to feel good. And
Yeah. What are people like? I heard this once, and I really love it. It's Monday. It's always Monday. If you're champion, if you're a loser, no matter what happened in the tournament or on your life, Monday is Monday for everybody. So there is always a restart, So if you think you mess up, if you think you did something wrong, Monday is Monday. You just restart, clear your head, and let's go. Let's go again, You just cannot get frustrated and overthink about what you did wrong. Of course, it's important you understand what you did wrong, but not get frustrated, because Monday is always Monday. You're going to come back and improve and work and get back stronger.
Absolutely. So you've been working with kids for quite a while. Like, having an
Yeah.
impact on the youth is such a powerful thing. You're literally sculpting the next generation of martial artists, of great human beings. And martial arts is something that there's lessons to learn for everything you do. If you're showing up every day and dedicated and putting your all into it and really, really trying, you're going to have some form of improvement. What things do you pass off to the children? What are some key components that they take home in their everyday life? I know that respect is huge in martial arts. Do they improve in the self-respect and respecting others? What is it that has the major change on children doing martial arts?
So I start teaching kids as a purple belt. So I was not very mature at that time. I was 19, 20, 19. Yeah, 18, 19. So I was a kid, a kid teaching other kids. So of course, I made a lot of mistakes, but I learned a lot. So what I try, Rodrigo, is like today's Rodrigo, to teach the kids, it's how to be not just a very good athlete, like jiu-jitsu wise, but a human being, a better person, respecting the next, respecting parents, being humble. There's a hierarchy in life, so that's very important in jiu-jitsu. You gotta ask to get in the mat, you gotta ask to get out the mat, you gotta ask to go bathroom. That's respect. You need to understand that's hierarchy in life, like everything, like you're from military, you gotta respect that, bro. If you mess up that, you're done, so it's really important they start understanding from really young, so they will not suffer when they're like older. So I try to be really tough with the respect question, like about being a nice person, respect your brother, respect your friend, don't be an asshole, don't talk when I'm talking, those kind of things. But of course, the jiu-jitsu is very important. I already have some students that they're giving some very good results, like Pan American champions, American national champions. So it's going good. It's working, but my goal, it's not just making those kids champions, because like I told you, I wanna those kids being better than myself, not making the mistakes I did. They're gonna make other mistakes. That's life. That's the cycle of life. Remember, like, I'm not making my brother's mistakes, I'm making other. So I'm trying to make them not make my mistakes, but they're gonna make others. But with those mistakes, they're gonna improve, get better, and I just need to be by their side to make sure they don't be a bad person, they don't become a bad person. I'm very, very tough with that. When you fight, you make sure you go shake the other coach hand, you talk to your opponent, say thank you, those kind of things. Those little things I think makes a lot of difference in a kid's life.
I love that. I love that. I know that my wife's little brother has been on the fence about doing jiu-jitsu, and I said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Why don't you come do it with me? We'll learn together. It's okay. You don't. I know it's a new thing. It might be scary, but you know what? Let's try. Let's see how it goes." And I know that it's so amazing to have someone who's young grow in self-confidence when they're not so assured. They're not so sure of themselves. They don't have all the answers. They're looking for guidance throughout life, and to have a part in that is really important to me. I can't wait for him to start his jiu-jitsu journey. It's really important to have a anchor grounding you and a center of gravity for children to focus on, other than just the digital world, because we got to come back home sometime.
Yeah.
We got to come
Yeah.
back to life.
Yeah, you're true. You're right.
Absolutely. So, what's in the future for you? I know you've been doing a lot of work. I love going down your social media and just seeing how you interact with other people. You interact with people on a different level than I've seen with
Yeah.
other athletes or competitors. You're very honest, open, you're kind.
Yeah.
And I love seeing you and your wife and your kids is my favorite part, because wow, had to have everybody on the same wavelength of health, fitness, and orientation of being better every day. I love that. So what's next for you? What's next for the family?
So next step, we're going to open our own gym on December 1st. Is going to happen right now. So that's a new, not many people know that. We're gonna start with some open mats. It's about to start, So that's the new goal. That's the new step. Now things I will, because I always work for someone else. I always did my job, but I was working other people's gym. Now for the first time, it's a dream that's become like true. I'm gonna take my brother's name. I'm gonna open my own space, and I'm gonna really do what I think is correct, 100% what I think is correct, and my way, without following like orders. I can really be myself, and yeah, like I'm very honest always. Mike knows, everybody knows, if you ask me something, you gotta be ready, because I would tell you what you gotta hear, right? If you're like, hey, Rodrigo, what do you do to compete? First of all, are you ready to compete? Like, it's because people just like to compete and they don't even know they're ready or not, So I will tell you that if you're not ready, but that's it. That's next plan, next step. Things are changing, hopefully for good. And let's see how it goes.
I love it. I love it, man. Well, you know what? I really do appreciate you coming, being able to time travel a little bit. I know it's 2 hours ahead in Texas right now. I
Yeah,
cannot wait for your gym to open. I cannot wait.
yeah.
I know that
Bro, I mean,
when I travel down to Texas, I want to come visit Mike.
please.
And I'd love to come in and see what you're doing and support what you're doing down there with the family.
Anytime.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what and just kind of wrapping up here, what is one thing that you wish you knew that nobody's ever told you that you learned after a tough win, or after a very low in your life? What is one thing that you wish you had been told that you hope that goes out to the rest of the world?
It's like I said, it's complicated. I had a very good guy on my corner who's my brother. So he made a lot of mistakes that he always tried to anticipate the mistakes and tell me what's the next step. He guides me all my life. Rodrigo, you need to go away, go that division. Rodrigo gonna fight that tournament. Rodrigo gonna fight against this guy. Rodrigo, that's the game plan. I literally follow the directions like my whole life. Competition wise, always. I always trust him 100%. So, in my opinion, I don't have nothing to tell you, like, oh, I wish I knew that. I think my advice, what I wanted for people, is have a good person on their sides, on their side, because it makes like nowadays I miss him so much. When I go to compete, I don't have him on my side. It's complicated for me. I got used to, so having no person to tell me do that, cut away this way, or go lifting, or rest today, or do this. That's the game plan. That's like just now by myself. It's me, my wife. Sometimes he call me, Rodrigo, you should do that, but it's not the same. So make sure you have the right people in your corner and believe them. Like believe on your corner, because if you think the person in your corner, it means you respect the person and you trust the person. So just listen to the person, and what I did my whole life, and now here I am, things are going good. And it's everything's because of course, my mom, my wife, but my brother, he guides me my whole life to be here today.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm definitely going to take all the advice you told me today and apply it. I cannot wait. One of my favorite things about being a student in life is going out of my way and trying to take the time to learn from people like you, to learn from people like Clutch up here in this area, who's going to be my professor, and humble myself and can be completely an empty cup, be receptive of the knowledge that I'm taking. There's a lot of things to take away from you other than just be fierce and not give up no matter what, and to take
Ever.
the negative and put it into and create positives with that
Yeah.
negative stuff. So I really appreciate you sharing your knowledge and your time
Anytime, bro.
and your time as well. I cannot wait for your gym to open up on December 1st. I will make sure to get this out to the entire world. I'm so thankful for your time, my brother. Thank you. And I cannot wait to come and visit. I can't wait.
Please, anytime, just let me know and show up.
All right. I'll let you know when I'm in the area, man. Well, I appreciate your time. All right.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.